Hey guys, how you doing? It's Garrett with Dr. Muscle, and today back again with another workout app review. So today we're going to be looking at the workout app by the name of Shred. So first, a little backstory. It was created in 2018 primarily as a way for friends to work out with each other even if they weren't together. The main purpose of it being built was from a social aspect. And while that's still there, very heavily actually, it's grown a little bit more and developed over the past 5 years or so. So if you've read any reviews or if you've even downloaded Shred, you are probably aware that one of the first things, and its best attribute, it's probably the sleekest and cleanest app I've ever downloaded, I've ever seen. You can tell the developer spent a lot of money on this. This was a main aspect of their app. And I can't think of another app off the top of my head that beats it in that realm, right? It's very pleasant to look at, very pleasant to use. It's very eye-catching. You download it grabs your attention. However, great aesthetics doesn't necessarily mean great functionality or great applicability. So that's what I want to look at this app from. I'm not going to judge this by if it looks cool. I'm going to judge by how well I think it can help a beginner, intermediate, or even advanced build muscle and build strength, lose fat, whatever it is your goal may be. So unfortunately, after I got over how cool it looks, I started to notice a lot of issues that I think, in my opinion, aren't appropriate for someone looking to use a professional strength bodybuilding app. Right off the bat, a huge issue, and it's so busy. There's so many different options for you to choose. Our society, we like to think having lots of options is a good thing. In some cases, that may be. But when you're looking at strength and conditioning, something that has research to show there's the best way of doing it, a lot of options is just going to confuse you. This is especially true if you're a beginner. One of the main complaints a beginner makes when they go to the gym is that I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. There's so much equipment. On Shred, when you download it, there's dozens and dozens of individualized workout programs. There's the option to put in some of your training information, and it will give you a program to follow. And it also has what I'll call workout parties, where you can join other people working out, or you can join a personal trainer that they're having their own session. And while there's nothing specifically wrong in these things individually, when you have them all together and they're an option at all times, it can be very distracting. I myself found myself being distracted. I want to try this workout, I want to try this workout, I want to try this workout. And a huge problem beginners have is we call program hopping. They try a program for a week and they try another program, and to see significant gains, you need to have progressive overload, and that needs to be applied for, I would say, a minimum 3 months, sometimes 6. It all depends on your training age. But skipping around from program to program, but trying out different programs is not conducive to optimizing your training. And what makes matters worse, in my opinion, is it's almost as though they are promoting that. So even when you are working out your program, there's a little button up here, try a group workout, or over here, look what so-and-so is doing. So that goes to the next issue, is the social aspect. I mean, that was one of the main aspects. That was one of the main reasons it was developed. And I also understand some people like working out with other people. It keeps them motivated, so on and so forth. I totally get that. However, randomly joining different people's workout, again, goes back to what I was saying previously. You can't jump from program to program. Personal story, I had a personal client, and we had a program, and then he would just randomly go join his buddy's leg day, or would try a 12-hour workout program from Rich Piana. And he'd come back to me wondering why he's not seeing gains. Because you just destroyed your arms. A professional program will have your workout structured to account for fatigue, correct frequency, adequate rest, so on and so forth. On top of that, you're joining random people. They might not know what they're doing. They could give you incorrect advice. They may or may not have the right information. And I suspect if you download an app, you're wanting to have the correct information. You're wanting to be told what to do. But with Shred, while it does have that kind of cool social aspect, it's kind of like anyone can tell you whatever they want. So one of the last things I want to touch on is the actual programs. I noticed that they love to use things like HIIT and circuit sets and drop sets and all these special types of sets. None of these are inherently wrong. We use them, I use them. However, they seem to be used all the time. And from my experience as a coach, that usually happens when, say, a trainer is trying to look more professional, like they have these secrets, when in reality, a lot of times they might not even be appropriate. There's nothing really special about them per se. But again, then when I see the programs and I see people's comments, they have statements like, at the end of the workout, it was a pool of sweat, or I was totally dead at the end of this workout. It was such a good workout. And it was feeding into this idea that for a program to be effective, you need to be completely dead at the end of it. You know, the whole no pain, no gain type of mindset. While you definitely need to push yourself, and going that hard once in a while will benefit you. However, you don't need to be looking for that total exhaustion after every workout. And so there's nothing wrong with any of these individually. However, when I put them together, forms an image that's commonly found in the fitness industry, where it relies on a lot of marketing, a lot of high intensity type workouts to make it seem more effective, using verbiage that's not true or is twisting the truth. And all in all, you know, it's not effective for your serious lifter. You know, if you're part of what I call the just move crowd, those are the people who aren't really concerned about building excessive amounts of muscle or setting new PRs. They just want to get out and get some exercise. You know, Shred could be a good option. You know, I do see it does have a purpose for some people. However, if you are a serious lifter and you are trying to set PRs, or you're in a rut and you're trying to get to that next level, I would recommend the app Dr. Muscle. Dr. Muscle is a workout app that uses AI to produce its programs. Not only does it produce your program, but then adapts to your training the longer you train. It starts to adjust according to your fatigue, to your strength levels, to your performance. Basically anything that a legitimate trainer would do or should do. Even when you put in your information, the program it gives you is truly a personalized program. It's something very similar to a program I would write or a program that my colleagues would write you. And they're not cookie cutter, because I've played with it, I've messed with some of my variables, and it will adjust the program as necessary. It allows you to account for injuries, mobility issues, target areas, but more importantly, it just gives you a very clear path that you need to take to get to your goals. It's produced by legitimate sports scientists, so all of the methods it uses is the newest. It uses the newest information we have. It uses RPE, which stands for rate of perceived exertion. It's a sort of auto-regulation that allows you to work more or less depending on how you feel. It's been proven to be an effective means of fatigue management. It uses something called DUPE, or daily undulating periodization, which is a method of altering the volume and intensity to mitigate fatigue. Again, it's been shown to be superior than other forms of periodization to elicit especially strength gains, but even hypertrophy. All in all, if I had to compare, Shred is like your group classes. You go to gym, you go through their scheduled group classes. If you like this, you go do that. If you don't, you don't, and you go do your regular program in the gym. It works for the Just Move crowd, and there's nothing wrong. Like I said, it's very aesthetically pleasing. However, if you are really looking for a serious app, not just a fun app, but a serious app that's going to show you exactly what to do, and it's going to guide you, Dr. Muscle is the app. Like a literal beginner could have never entered a gym before in their life, and could download Dr. Muscle and start using legitimate professional programs immediately. That's my review of Shred. If you have any questions, leave it down below, and I'll see you next time.